Independence Day of India, I would first like to highlight our progress over the last 67 years. We, as a nation, have achieved significant development over all these years. India now ranks among the top few countries in terms of science and technology. We have attained self-sufficiency in food production. In the defense sector, India is the fourth largest military. We are also a strong nuclear power with a promise not to use it unless attacked by the same. Indian economy is also growing at a rapid pace. India is the second largest economic power in the world. In the health sector also, our average life expectancy has increased from 32 to 67 years. Our BPL population has decreased from 70% to 25.7% over the last 70 years. Also, according to 2011 census, our adult literacy rate has increased from 18.33% to 73%. And above all, we are the largest democracy on Mother Earth. So these are some of the positives that we bank on standing on the 68th year of independence. But at the same time, India has a number of problems to address. First comes poverty and unemployment. Though the figures suggest that the BPL population of India has decreased from 70% to 25.7%, the actual number of BPL people has increased from 215 million to 270 million, adding a massive 55 million people to the tally. Now, they need a decent habitat, they need work with reasonable income, food, speedy access to healthcare, and above all, a better future. Now, who can secure a better future for them? The answer is in us. Swami Vivekananda said, "My faith is in the younger generation. The modern generation, out of them will come my workers. They'll work the whole problem like lions." So it is high time we stop asking what our country can do for us and instead start doing something for the country's purpose. Swamiji wanted us to be patriots in the true sense of the term. Patriotism in present-day India involves performing our national duties with proper dedication and sincerity. National duties involve small things like paying proper taxes, traveling in public vehicles with proper tickets, casting our votes, etc., etc. And these small things, if performed properly by each of 1.2 billion people, can go a long, long way in developing our country's present situation. Secondly, I would like to come to child malnutrition. According to a recent study by UNDP, 46% of Indian children are malnourished. This is a serious issue. The children are the prospect of the future. They must possess muscles of iron and nerves of steel. So ensuring proper nutrition for the pregnant mother and child is a Herculean task that needs to be done. The government of India has undertaken a number of schemes like Janani Surakha Yojana, JSY, National Rural Health Mission, R.K.M, MGNREGA, etc. to eradicate problems such as poverty, unemployment, child and mother malnutrition. But still, here again, there is lack of implementation. So we have to find a way. And for this, the foremost necessity is a strong will in us to eradicate these problems. Thirdly, I would like to come to economy. We have been sporting a fair economic growth rate in the last 2 decades, but unfortunately, there is huge lack of its reflection in the development index of India. The Human Development Index of India is a sorry figure of 0.569 compared to a mammoth 0.998 of developed countries like Japan. Agriculture employs over 50% of India's population, contributing to only 15% of our GDP. On the other hand, public sector employing 32% contributes to 55% of our GDP. So a second green revolution is an utmost necessity. Improving our agricultural and horticultural techniques can not only fuel our economic growth by 100%, but also upgrade our standard of living by many folds. Fourthly, lastly, I would like to come to the general issues. 33% of Indian people still do not have proper access to electric supply. Food inflation has raised by 20% in the last decade. In the annual Gender Development Equality Report by UNDP, India ranks a poor 132nd among 187 countries, behind all its neighbors except Pakistan. And what stupefied me most was a figure. Rupees 21,068 crores was spent on bribe last year. Just think, of that huge amount of money being spent on bribe in a country where 270 million people don't get to eat twice a day. I would prefer not to recollect the recent scams and scandals of the government, nor would I like to stress upon the huge amount of money that is being accumulated in foreign banks like Swiss Bank. So, it is the misappropriation of wealth that impoverishes most of our fellow countrymen. India is home to the most of the poor people of the country simply because a number of our citizens are among the richest of the rich billionaires of the world. Now, the question is how to treat these maladies. The answer is an empowerment and organization. Swami Vivekananda envisioned the youths taking a pivotal role in shaping a great future India. In his clarion call to the youth, he says, "The whole secret for shaping a great future India lies in organization, accumulation of power, and coordination of wills." Already before my mind rises one of the marvelous verses of Rig Veda Samhita, which goes as Sangachadyam Sambadattvam Sambo Manam Srijanatam. It says, "Be thou all of one mind, be thou all of one thought." Being of one mind is the secret of society. So we, as a society, have to organize ourselves and realize our rights to raise our voices. I find the word Abhi to have immense importance in the present pretext. Abhi in Sanskrit means the fearless one. So we have to be fearless in the optimistic sense to face the truth and to achieve the good. Abhi in Hindi means now. So whatever work has to be done, whatever work has to be uptaken has to be done in a fearless manner right from now, right from this moment. Our ancestors have done a lot for us. And now it is high time we burn up the dross and stop the blame game and start working for a better future India. Let us all become enlightened citizens, enlightened doctors, administrators, engineers, teachers, social workers, enlightened parents, and yes, some of us must also be enlightened sannyasins, because India has to conquer the world by her spirituality. This was the vision of Swami Vivekananda. Let us remember not to treat this freedom of India casually or for granted. It took 200 years, millions of dollars and billions of sacrifices for India to achieve this freedom. And many of these sacrifices included people who were as young as you and me. So now, standing at the 68th year of independence, if we put even 20% of the efforts that were put 70 years ago, I can assure you India will be at a much better disposition in the world. Before I conclude, I would like to remember what Swamiji said when one of his disciples asked him, "Swamiji, how can I best help you?" In only 2 words, Swamiji answers, "Love India, my India, the India eternal." This is the message to every Indian on this Independence Day. Love India, feel for India, feel for our people. You'll find a lot of work to do. Let us proceed. Let us all proceed towards this enlightenment. If not anyone, Swami Vivekananda is with us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Arjuna. Thank you.